Disclaimer. Yep, this is another part 2 to an earlier video. If you haven't seen part 1, I've got the link in the description below. Also, I'm sorry this didn't come out earlier. I spent a lot of that time being ill and I couldn't really get much work done.
As I'm filming this, it's almost the end of August. Perfect time to talk about how the Grinch stole Christmas, right?
Wrong-o.
How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Crikey! The Grinch also stole the recording studio by the sound of it.
Every Who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot. But the Grinch, who lived just north of Whoville, did not. The Grinch hated Christmas, the whole Christmas season. Now, please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason.
Yeah, you tell him, Theodore. The one thing that's always bugged me about the movie adaptations of The Grinch is that they just had to give him a backstory to explain why he hates Christmas so much. Literally, the original poem said nobody knows why he does.
It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right. It could be, perhaps, that his shoes were too tight.
I don't have anything else to say. That's just excellent comedic timing.
But I think that the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small.
Yeah, that's a plausible reason. Not sure how that sound effect represents it, though. Come to think of it, he should probably get that checked out. And just you wait till you hear Rick's Grinch voice. You ain't heard shit yet.
And they're hanging their stockings, he snarled with a sneer. Tomorrow is Christmas. It's practically here.
It's practically here! He sounds like a crow with cancer.
Then he growled, with his Grinch fingers nervously drumming, I must find some way to stop Christmas from coming. For tomorrow, he knew. All the Who girls and boys would wake bright and early. They'd rush for their toys.
Was that a gun? Well, if the Cat in the Hat's bastard children can have guns, then these Who's can too. And then we get Rick Mail making stupid noises with his tongue over some restaurant ambience.
Then the Who's, young and old, would sit down to a feast. And they'd feast, and they'd feast. And they'd feast, 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 feast. They would feast on Who pudding and rare Who roast beast, which was something the Grinch couldn't stand in the least.
Okay, Mr. Mail, if you'd like to step into the recording booth. Mr. Mail, why, what are you doing, what the...
And then they'd do something he liked least of all. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, would stand close together with Christmas bells ringing. They'd stand hand in hand and the Who's would start singing.
Christmas, it's Christmas, it's Christmas.
Best Christmas song ever. The Pogues and Wham and all that lot can fuck off.
And the more the Grinch thought of this Who Christmas sing, the more the Grinch thought, I must stop this whole thing. Why, for 53 years I've put up with it now.
No way, 53? He is not looking bad for his age.
Then he got an idea, an awful idea. The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea. I know just what to do, the Grinch laughed in his throat, and he made a quick Santa Claus hat and a coat. And he chuckled and clucked, what a great Grinchy trick! With this coat and hat, I look just like Saint Nick.
That laugh gets me every time.
All I need is a reindeer. The Grinch looked around, but since reindeer are scarce, there was none to be found. Did that stop the old Grinch? No, the Grinch simply said, "If I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead." So he called his dog Max. Then he took some red thread and he tied a big horn on the top of his head.
Well, you'd better get down to Whoville quickly before the RSPCA loses their shit.
All their windows were dark. Quiet snow filled the air. All the Whos were all dreaming, sweet dreams without care. When he came to the first little house on the square.
Stop talking creepily, please, Rick. You're making it sound like the Grinch is a serial killer.
Then he slid down the chimney. A rather tight pinch. But if Santa could do it, then so could the Grinch. He got stuck only once for a moment or two. Then he stuck his head out of the fireplace flue, where the little Who's stockings all hung in a row. "These stockings," he grinned, "are the first things to go."
Do they just reuse the same laugh from earlier?
Then he slithered and slunk with a smile most unpleasant around the whole room, and he took every present. Pop guns and bicycles, roller skates, drums, checkerboards, tricycles, popcorn, and
Dem plums!
I'm sorry, I just couldn't resist doing that. Carpe diem, you know what they say. Means something like dying carp.
And he stuffed them in bags. Then the Grinch, very nimbly, stuffed all the bags one by one up the chimney. Then he slunk to the icebox. He took the Who's feast. He took the Who pudding. He took the roast beast. He cleaned out that icebox as quick as a flash. Why, that Grinch even took their last can of Who hash.
What a cunt!
Then he stuffed all the food up the chimney with glee. "And now," grinned the Grinch, "I will stuff up the tree." And the Grinch grabbed the tree and he started to shove when he heard a small sound like the coo of a dove. He turned around fast and he saw a small Who. Little Cindy Lou who was not more than 2. The Grinch had been caught by this tiny Who daughter who'd got out of bed for a cup of cold water.
Can't wait to hear Rick's voice for this kid.
She stared at the Grinch and said, "Santa Claus, why? Why are you taking our Christmas tree? Why?"
Excellent 2-year-old child voice there, Mick Rail. Incidentally, that's what I used to call him as a child.
But you know, that old Grinch was so smart and so slick. He thought up a lie, and he thought it up quick. "Why, my sweet little tot," the fake Santa Claus lied, "there's a light on this tree that won't light on one side."
Jesus Christ, is it nonce o'clock already?
"So I'm taking it home to my workshop, my dear. I'll fix it up there, and then I'll bring it back here."
These Who's never heard of the phrase stranger danger. I thought Cat in the Hat was bad.
Then the last thing he took was the log for their fire. Then he went up the chimney himself, the old liar. On their walls, he left nothing but hooks and some wire.
I love the way he delivers that line. He just starts off so tongue-in-cheek and then And then he remembers that life is ultimately meaningless and we all die.
And the one speck of food that he left in the house was a crumb that was even too small for a mouse. Then he did the same thing to the other Who's houses, leaving crumbs much too small for the other Who's mouses.
Does the Grinch just not like mice?
The next day.
3,000 feet up the side of Mount Crumpet.
Come again?
Mount Crumpet.
Did he just say Mount Crumpet?
Mount Crumpet.
That's an excellent name for a mountain, Mount Crumpet. Actually, now that I think about it, maybe it's not a mountain. Maybe Mount Crumpet is an instruction.
Get your toaster running. Butter on the highway. Looking for some Marmite when tea time comes our way.
He rode with his load to the tip-top to dump it.
To be honest, I used to think that was the sound of an explosion because he'd already dropped it. But no, it's just the sled creaking as he's tipping it up.
Pooh-pooh to the Who's! He was Grinchishly humming. They're finding out now that no Christmas is coming. They're just waking up. I know just what they'll do. Their mouths will hang open a minute or two. Then the Who's down in Whoville will all cry.
Rick's Grinch voice will never get old.
That's a noise, grinned the Grinch, that I simply must hear. So he paused, and the Grinch put his hand to his ear. And he did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started in low, then it started to grow. But the sound wasn't sad. Why, this sound sounded merry. It couldn't be so. But it was merry. Very. He stared down at Whoville. The Grinch popped his eyes. Then he shook. What he saw was a shocking surprise.
Oh, the epic Christmas song is back.
Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, was singing without any presents at all.
So in short, the Grinch realises what Christmas is all about and returns the Who's shit back to them, and nothing much else happens, and I can't really be asked to talk about this part.
And what happened then? Well, in Whoville they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day. And the minute his heart didn't feel quite so tight, he whizzed with his load through the bright morning light. And he brought back the toys and the food for the feast. And he himself, the Grinch, carved the roast beast.
That's quite enough of that. It's time for the last story now. 1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, blue fish, goldfish, starfish, angelfish, zebrafish, lionfish, anglerfish, blackfish, Michaelfish, big fish, little fish, cardboard box.
1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, blue fish, black fish, blue fish.
Wait, what? There's already a blue fish. Is this just the same one from earlier?
Old fish, new fish. This one has a little star. This one has a little car. Say, what a lot of fish there are. Yes, some are red and some are blue. Some are old and some are new. Some are sad and some are glad. And some are very, very bad. Why are they sad and glad and bad? I do not know. Go ask your dad.
Dad, why are these fish such bastards?
Some are thin and some are fat. The fat one has a yellow hat. From there to here, from here to there, funny things are everywhere. Here are some who like to run. They run for fun in the hot, hot sun. Oh me, oh my, oh me, oh my, what a lot of funny things go by.
Oops, sorry, wrong song. Can't believe they got away with that without being sued by the 20th Century Fox people.
Some have 2 feet and some have 4. Some have 6 feet and some have more. Where do they come from? I can't say, but I bet they have come a long, long way. We see them come, we see them go. Some are fast and some are slow. Some are high and some are low. Not one of them is like another. Don't ask us why. Go ask your mother.
Mum, why are these...
Say, look at his fingers. 1, 2, 3. How many fingers do I see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He has 11. 11. This is something new. I wish I had 11 too. Bump, bump, bump. Did you ever ride a wump? We have a wump with just 1 hump. But we know a man called Mr. Gump. Mr. Gump has a 7-hump wump. So, if you like to go bump bump, just jump on the hump of the wump of Gump. Who am I? My name is Ned. I do not like my little bed. This is no good. This is not right. My feet stick out of bed all night. And when I pull them in, oh dear, my head sticks out of bed up here.
You see, this is what happens when you don't follow the IKEA instructions correctly.
We like our bike. It is made for 3. Our Mike sits up in back, you see. We like our Mike, and this is why. Mike does all the work when the hills get high.
These kids are so lazy. That's all I've got to say. Let's move on.
Hello there, Ned. How do you do? Tell me, what is new? How are things in your little bed? What is new? Please tell me, Ned.
Oh, God. Why are you doing this to me, Rick Female?
I do not like this bed at all. A lot of things have come to call. A cow, a dog, a cat, a mouse. Oh, what a bed. Oh, what a house.
The voices Rick does in this are excellent, especially with this little exchange.
Oh dear, I cannot hear. Will you please come over near? Will you please look in my ear? There must be something there, I fear.
Say, look, a bird was in your ear. But he is out, so have no fear. Again your ear can hear, my dear.
I mean, he's got that delightfully silly Dr. Seuss style, but it works like a good joke. Good setup, good punchline, averts expectations. Okay, what's next?
My hat is old, my teeth are gold. I have a bird I like to hold. My shoe is off, my foot is cold.
And then he just repeats it, but backwards. But in a rather clever visual trick. This old homeless bastard is standing the right way up on the left page, but with the second time he says it on the right page, he's standing upside down. It's a really clever joke and it gave me a laugh. I don't care what you think.
We took a look. We saw a nook. On his head, he had a hook. On his hook, he had a book. On his book was How to Cook. We saw him sit and try to cook. He took a look at the book on the hook. But a nook can't read, so a nook can't cook. So what good to a nook is a hook cookbook?
Why is he bringing a book then if he can't read? Riddle me that, Batman!
The moon was out and we saw some sheep. We saw some sheep take a walk in their sleep. By the light of the moon, by the light of a star, they walked all night, from near to far. I would never walk. I would take a car.
That last bit always cracks me up. Blech! Walking's for simpletons!
I do not like this one so well. All he does is yell, yell, yell. I will not have this one about. When he comes in, I put him out. This one is quiet as a mouse. I like to have him in the house.
Jesus McDonald Christ!
After that, we have a few more creature-based poems that aren't particularly interesting to talk about, but with this one, we have the sound people having fun with the surround sound.
Hop, 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 I am a yop. All I like to do is hop. From finger top to finger top. I hop from left to right and then... hop, hop, I hop right back again. I like to hop all day and night, from right to left and left to right. Why do I like to hop, hop, hop? I do not know. Go ask your pop.
O holy Pop, knower of all, I have come to ask thee for thy wisdom. Why does this little shit like jumping on people's fingers?
Did you ever fly a kite in bed?
Go on, do something.
Did you ever walk with 10 cats on your head? Did you ever milk this kind of cow?
Well, when you ask me like that... No, I don't think I have.
Well, we can do it. We know how. If you never did, you should. These things are fun, and fun is good.
I've already tried some of those. More fun than anything, really.
Hello! Are you there? Hello! I called you up to say hello. I said hello. Can you hear me, Joe?
Oh, no, I cannot hear your call. I cannot hear your call at all. This is not good, and I know why. A mouse has cut the wire. Goodbye.
Why are you answering him then if you can't hear him?
You troglodytes!
Who am I? My name is Ish.
But you can call me Ishmael.
On my hand I have a dish. I have this dish to help me wish. When I wish to make a wish, I wave my hand with a big swish, swish. Then I say, I wish for a fish. And I get a fish right on my dish. So, if you wish to wish a wish, you may swish for fish with my Ish-wish dish.
Those accents will... I can't even think of anything to say. It's just excellent.
Look what we've found in the park in the dark. We will take him home. We will call him Clark. He will live at our house. He will grow and grow. Will our mother like this? We don't know.
Good on you, kids. Not giving two flying tits about what people think. I admire you. Wait a minute, are those the kids from The Cat in the Hat?
Every day from here to there, funny things are everywhere.
And with those words, the Dr. Seuss collection comes to an end. And if I'm being honest, this is actually better than the other one. I think that's just my personal bias. I listen to it a lot more often than the other one, but you can really see why. I think it's brilliant. Seriously, absolutely brilliant. It's like I've always said, don't be ashamed to do things more than once. And I know from personal experience. The music perfectly complements Rick's narration, and the sound effects not only add to the whimsical, silly nature of Dr. Seuss, but multiply it. There was so much effort put into this when there didn't even need to be. And that's mainly the reason it would always just hypnotise me whenever I listen to it. Well, I think I've just about had enough of Dr. Seuss for one day. What do you mean there's more? They made them when? And who's narrating them? Oh, I see. I see. It's the Bipolo seed, yes. And other lost stories. I like that one. But who narrates it? David Walliams?
He's a real nowhere man, sitting in his nowhere land, making all his nowhere plans for nobody. Doesn't have a point of view, knows not where he's going to. Isn't he a bit like you and me?
Yeah, you tell him. The one thing that's always bugged me about the movie adaptations of The Grinch is that they always give him a backstory. I feel like I'm saying always a lot. The one thing that's... Now don't go to sleep. Don't go to sleep. I need you, phone. Yeah, that's a plausible reason. I'm not sure how... Just you wait till you hear Grick's Rinch voice. Who's Grick? What is going on with my tongue today? To be honest, I used to think that was a big exclosion. Exclosion? What the fuck is an exclosion?
Oh, holy pop, knower of all,
It's just so hard to say without cracking a smile. I'm completely serious.
Oh, holy pop, knower of...
I can't do it! It's just too ridiculous! I'm sorry, I must compose myself. Oh, shut up!